Now, this is a key part of the story. There was one commentator who was saying the teachers of the law were probably the first people that arrived at the house. They were the people with the best seats. They were the people who were there first. They were inside the house. In physical proximity, they were the closest to Jesus. But no one had brought a friend whom they thought was hurting or confused or needed Jesus. And I think there are times in which we do find ourselves struggling with this kind of self-righteousness. I think it's something in the midst of everything that we are going through that God is breaking. That there are times in which we struggle with the same self-righteousness. That maybe there are times in which we sit where they sat. We disapprove where they disapproved. Where we fail to notice the mats of other people and break through roofs and ceilings. There are times in which we would rather reason out than reach out. Again, there are times in which, because it's easier, because it's more convenient, because it's in our comfort zone, we would rather reason out than reach out. But if it were not for the compassion of these 4 desperate friends, this man would have stayed there on the mat and he would have only heard stories of what Jesus did. But because of their desperate faith, because of this sense of urgency, because of this daring compassion, this daring creativity that just overflowed out of their love for this man, he found himself at the feet of Jesus. I'd like to believe that as people who are choosing to follow Jesus, we are not only called to bear the message, but we're called to be the message. Again, we are not only called to bear the message with our lips, but to be the message with our lives. And that's what happened to this man. As God honored the faith not just of this paralytic, but the faith of his 4 friends, his life was a message of hope and healing. And sometimes I wonder, what kind of party broke out after this? What kind of celebration broke out after the restoration of this man? Maybe the 4 friends were high-fiving each other, who knows? Maybe there was just so much amazement and astonishment and wonder and hope that filled the air. And I think many of us know what that's like. We have people now in our village who are battling sicknesses, and we're fighting with them, we're praying with them. And maybe for some of us, we know how it's like for a loved one. We may not be the one physically going through that struggle, but when they win, we win too. When they overcome, we overcome too.